The Wolfpack immediately went to work.
What we do best, play football.
Focusing on returning to the top of the mountain in Louisiana football. The loss of an outstanding senior class, which had shown great leadership, only added to the Wolves' determination. It's time for those young Wolves waiting in the wings to leave their mark on the tradition-rich program. Memories of ending the 2007 season only 1 yard from reaching the Superdome would be fuel for another long season ahead, one in which the media would bill as a slugfest in the chase for the title. Motivation led to an outstanding off-season, which had many around the program feeling confident as the season approached. Returning from a highly successful boot camp, the Wolves were excited to begin the season, dedicated to the tradition of the Pack. Preparations were underway for the annual All-Catholic Jamboree, which would have Redemptorists facing longtime rival Catholic High. As with each time these two teams meet, the buzz around town had everyone excited. In front of a packed house at Magella Field, the Wolves and Bears would play another memorable jamboree that leave both teams excited about their upcoming season. As always, both teams had anticipated this contest throughout the summer, and the intensity on the field was evident from the onset. Just as the jamboree had begun a year ago, the opening kickoff was again returned for a touchdown. However, this year it would be Redemptorist who would take an early 7-0 lead behind the 85-yard run from sophomore Jeremy Hill. After the initial electrifying play, neither team was able to put much offense together against two stingy defenses.
Expect the screen. Some kind of screen. I'll make sure we run into the football right there.
Catholic High would score on the opening drive of the second half, but again, both offenses would stall through the remainder of the contest. The Bears would connect on a desperation pass to the 2-yard line with just 4 seconds remaining and edge the Wolves 10-7 with a field goal as time expired. Similar to the 2005 season when Hurricane Katrina ravaged the Louisiana coast, 2008 would begin with another hurricane, this one named Gustav, bearing down on New Orleans and the surrounding areas. Many teams armed with experience gained from Katrina began to make preparations for the worst-case scenario. Unfortunately, the worst case would indeed happen, with Gustav coming ashore and sweeping through Baton Rouge, killing at least 2 people, injuring many more, blowing down trees and power lines, and crippling the city. The Wolves' scheduled contest with the Spartans of East Ascension was canceled, along with most other contests in South Louisiana. Unfortunately, Week 1 games would not be the only games lost because of Mother Nature. Many teams would scramble to reschedule or find opponents to play in Week 2, and yet another Hurricane Ike bearing down on the Gulf Coast. Due to a shortage of charter buses, with Ike looming, Redemptorist and Dutchtown would find themselves preparing to face each other instead of their originally scheduled road games with Richwood and H.L. Bourgeois. With Ike scheduled to make landfall early on Friday, the Wolves and Griffins would agree to play an uncharacteristic Saturday afternoon game. After a tough contest against 5A Catholic in the Jamboree and a week off due to Gustav, the Wolves were looking to improve by picking up a game with Dutchtown, ranked in the top 10 in Class 5A. Coach Mistretta told the team that they would be a better team in the long run by playing a team like Catholic High and Dutchtown.
Taken at the 21 by Jonathan Green.
Wolves would respond with a tough battle against the Griffins. Behind a very strong offensive line and dual running back attack, the Griffins were able to control the ball and the game. Dutchtown shocking the pack, jumping out to a 14-0 first quarter lead. The Wolves were able to get on the board with a safety by the defense and
to Jonathan Green. Green up and down. Green fights his way inside the 10-yard line.
A 1-yard touchdown run by Jonathan Green. And trailed 14-9 at the half. In the second half, the Wolfpack would threaten with 2 drives deep into Griffin territory. But failed to capitalize, falling 24-15 in a very hard-fought battle. After missing the Jamboree because of an injury, returning All-State running back Jonathan Green made his presence known in the game.
Green still on his feet.
Totaling 69 yards and 2 touchdowns. The gutsy performance was costly, though, as Green would aggravate the injury and miss the next 4 games. After the disappointing loss to Dutchtown, the Wolves had a determined week of practice and were well prepared when the Green Devils from Plaquemine arrived at the Rock. The Wolves' offense would be particularly determined to prove themselves after stalling on several drives the last 2 contests. Sophomore running back Jeremy Hill would take things into his own hands and finish 3 of those Wolves' drives with touchdown runs, 13.
Jeremy Hill.
Eight. And 62 yards. Hill would finish the contest with 182 yards rushing in a breakout performance. After taking the second half kickoff and driving deep into Redemptorist territory, the Green Devils would stall on their only true threat of the contest.
Number 38, Rush.
This would be the start of a surge by the veteran Redemptorist defense, a surge that would carry them well into the playoffs. With a 24-0 lead early in the third quarter, it was time for the younger Wolves to get an opportunity, and they would not disappoint. With 6 sophomores in the starting lineup and the play of the young pups late in this contest, the coaching staff felt confident that the Pack was primed to make a run for the district title. The Wolfpack would make their first road trip of the season in Week 4, heading south to face an inspired E.D. White team in Thibodaux. Coming into the game, both teams were 1-1 and looked to get on a roll. Redemptorist would open the game with the number 5 ranking in the current 3A polls. Behind an inspired offense, aggressive defense, in the leg of Brian Joffrion, the Wolves would take a 27-0 lead into halftime. Joffrion would continue his all-state success from 2007, kicking field goals of 31 and 24 yards. The offense would get touchdowns from sophomores Jeremy Hill and Jaron Pickering, while another sophomore, Nico Talbert, led all rushers with 62 yards. Finally, Mammoth sophomore offensive lineman Lael Collins get involved as well, scoring on a 2-point conversion from the fullback position. The defense also getting involved, with Burt White returning an interception for a touchdown. Of special note in this game was the emergence of junior Deuce Kuhn at quarterback. After winning all district honors at receiver as a sophomore, Deuce had taken over the quarterback position in 2008 and was quietly making his presence felt. The more Deuce became comfortable as the season wore on, the more explosive the Redemptorist offense would become. The defense controlled the game in the second half, pitching their second consecutive shutout. As the Wolves headed home from Thibodaux with an impressive 27-0 victory, the coaching staff immediately turned its attention to homecoming against a very athletic and talented Clinton team. For the fourth consecutive season, Redemptorist would beat Clinton in a showdown of highly ranked foes, looking to finalize preparations for district play and a long run into the playoffs.
Good judgment over the homecoming. Amen.
With the Eagles looking to prove themselves, the matchup always produced big plays on offense and bone-jarring hits on defense. The 2008 edition would prove no different. The defensive staff was hoping to see the defense continue its domination of not allowing a single point since the season opening loss to Dutchtown. After giving up an early 60-yard touchdown run on the game's first possession, the Black D would not disappoint, leading the Wolves to a 30-6 homecoming victory. The Wolves continued to grind out impressive statistics. Jeremy Hill had another strong performance, 87 yards and a touchdown. And Deuce Kuhn continued to show his presence, completing 10 of 20 passes for 122 yards to go along with 80 yards rushing. Kicking game continued to be a huge weapon for the Wolves as well. connecting on 3 field goal tries. Ryan Joffrion was successful from 20 and 21 yards. Kyle Hall successful from 26 yards. While the season began with a rough start due to the schedule shakeup and the opening loss to Dutchtown, the Wolves have responded well. They are now poised to begin district play with their sights set on reclaiming the title. As usual, Redemptorists would welcome their foe from the north, West Feliciana, to open district play. Riding a 3-game winning streak and ranked number 5 in the current 3A polls, the Wolfpack Nation out in force, looking for the Wolves to send a message to the rest of District 8 3A by continuing the powerful offensive punch coupled with that stingy defense. Unfortunately, the Wolves would stumble out of the gate, falling behind early, struggling to get it going on offense, and would head into halftime trailing 6-3. The Saints have played a very aggressive defense, with multiples of stunts along the front that confused the Wolves' young offense in the first half. During the break, Coach Black instructed his offensive unit to stay focused and follow the game plan. If they would do that, they would come out victorious. The Redemptorist defense would step up in the second half, shutting down West Feliciana. And giving the offense confidence to go out and execute the game plan. That plan included a halftime adjustment to get Nico Talbert involved. Talbert would make several big plays to pace the Wolves' attack and punish that Saints defense for focusing on Hill. Quarterback Deuce Kuhn and Talbot would connect 5 times for 126 yards, propelling the Wolfpack to a 20-6 victory. have the Wolves facing North Baton Rouge neighbor Baker at the Rock. The Wolfpack Nation was stirring over a 4-game winning streak and a defense that had held opponents to just 12 points in the last 4 games.
There's a head. The difference you when you toss, you have the option. You want to receive.
The coaching staff was also looking for a young offense to continue maturing and developing for the stretch run. Former Baker coaches Ken Hilton and Mark Brown had the Black D motivated and well prepared as they continued to dominate, holding the Buffaloes out of the end zone the entire game while allowing only 72 yards of total offense. On the Buffs' only venture into the Wolves' territory, senior Fulton Johnson made a big stop on a fake punt to preserve the 3rd shutout of the season for the defense. Offensively, the Wolves would get the spark the coaching staff was looking for. After 4 weeks out due to injury, Jonathan Green would return with a vengeance, taking the opening kickoff back for a touchdown. Although called back due to a penalty, the electrifying return was just the spark the Pack needed. Green would rush for 53 yards and 2 touchdowns. The presence of Green allowed Deuce Kuhn, Jeremy Hill, and Nico Talbot to keep the Baker defense guessing all night. Kuhn, Hill, and Talbot, each adding an additional touchdown, and the Wolves rolled over the Buffaloes 38-0.
Let you roll and pull back up.
All right, get those big legs stretched out and you running it like somebody's chasing you. All right.
Over the past few years, Redemptorist and Capital have developed an exciting and intense rivalry. And in 2008, the rivalry would hit a new high. Entering the season, the Wolves and Lions were tied atop the district polls, ahead of defending champion Parkview. While Capital had just lost a tough last-minute battle to Parkview, there was still much anticipation. The showdown at Memorial Stadium would be big. The two teams would not disappoint. Everyone expected this game to be filled with big plays from two teams loaded with big play capability, and they would get just that with the Wolves and Lions totaling over 700 yards of offense. Unfortunately, the Redemptorist defense, which had been so solid throughout the season, would be victimized by the big play. And the Redemptorist offense would be stopped on two critical second-half drives by an inspired Capital High defense. The Wolves would continue to get strong play from Deuce Kuhn and Jonathan Green, as well as Jaron Pickering making his presence known again. Black D was able to hold all-everything quarterback Terrence Broadway to only 90 yards on 3 of 13 passes. However, on this night, the Lions would get the better hand, defeating the Wolves 24-13. In Week 9, the Wolfpack would welcome Northeast to Magella Field in hopes of getting back to their winning ways. Coach Mistretta would caution his team about a letdown coming off the Capital loss, as well as not looking ahead to the Parkview game the following week. Northeast would be playing for a spot in the playoffs, and the Wolves would have to come prepared to play a tough-fought game. In an attempt to inject a little extra excitement into his team, Mistretta surprised the pack with black jerseys for senior night. The Wolves would put the distractions aside and match the stiff challenge from the Vikings.
Remember Landmark. okay? We're going to Seattle. You got to remember that.
For the second week in a row, the Wolves would total over 350 yards of total offense. Behind a 131-yard performance from Jeremy Hill. And 94 yards from Jonathan Green. Back duo would prove to be too much for the Northeast defense. Defensively, the Pack would respond to its worst performance of the season a week earlier, holding the Vikings to minus 16 yards rushing. Brandon Nash recovered 2 fumbles. Larry Daly intercepted 2 passes to lead the defensive attack for the Wolves.
Yours did? Both of them did. That's why he tried to throw the swing and Jay wasn't ready for it.
With the 27-12 victory, the Wolves gave themselves an opportunity to face Parkview for a share of the District 8-3A title. After the 2 overtime losses to Parkview a year before, revenge was in the air for the Wolfpack Nation. Two perennial 3A powers prepared for their district championship contest. Defending state champion Parkview Baptist held the top spot in the 3A polls to go along with a 23-game winning streak. Media hype for the game began early in the week, billing the game as the Showdown Thursday. Hype would not disappoint. In front of a packed house at Parkview, the fans would be treated to a memorable game filled with lots of emotion. All Parkview players and coaches wore sweatbands embroidered with Suzette in remembrance of Parkview coach Kenny Biott's daughter who died of cancer the past weekend. Eagles were then led onto the field by quarterback Caleb Leindecker, who lost a leg in a summer accident. Finally, PBS broke out their own set of new black jerseys for this game. Fueled by the pregame emotion, Drew Dillio would return the opening kickoff 99 yards for a touchdown and a quick 7-0 Parkview lead. He would add another quick touchdown to take a 14-0 lead. Before freshman Avery Johnson would respond for the Wolves with a 54-yard touchdown pass from Deuce Kuhn. Led 14-7 after the whirlwind first half. The Wolfpack was encouraged by the second quarter in which the momentum had shifted. Coach Mistretta let the Wolves know they had gotten through the emotion and had taken the Eagles' best shot and were still in the ballgame. It was now time for the Wolfpack to take charge of the season once and for all. The second half will be all Redemptorist as the Wolves will control the ball with a very dominating running attack. Led by Jeremy Hills, 117 yards, and another 89 from Kuhn. The Black D had its most impressive game of the season. Redemptorist will hold the vaunted Parkview rushing attack to only 109 yards for the game. Burt White was the catalyst on defense for the Wolves, making key stops on numerous occasions throughout the game. Brandon Nash, Chris Godson, Fulton Johnson, and Larry Daly were also key contributors to the Redemptorist defense as Parkview tried unsuccessfully to pass their way back into the game. Redemptorist would finish this game with a 28-14 win, and the victory would be sweet revenge for the Wolfpack. playoffs on the horizon, Coach Mistretta would instruct his team to enjoy the victory over the weekend. Come back Monday ready to begin preparing for the difficult playoffs ahead.
The kids didn't give up is the main thing. You know, they kept fighting the entire time. We told them coming in they'd face adversity. You know, you fight through that, and that's what they did. Defensively, they played super throughout the game.
Riding the high of the victory over Parkview in the district title, the Wolves were eager to discover who their first-round opponent would be so they could get back to work preparing for another game. When the brackets were announced, the number 4 ranked Wolves drew a number 13 seed and would face number 20 seed and 12th ranked Kaplan in the first round at the Rock. First round of the playoffs would have Redemptorist at the friendly confines of Magella Field, welcoming in the Kaplan Pirates.
Got a 10. All in the air, 24. Here we go. Tails in it. You win the toss.
Coming off an emotional victory against Parkview, the Wolves were looking to use momentum to ignite a run through the playoffs. After studying the Pirates, it was obvious this was a team that would be reckoned with. The Wolves went about preparing accordingly.
Get him right here. Let's go.
Block operator David Jefferson, block operator Brent Knight, referee Byron Lockhart.
Watch the snap, coach!
The Pac's preparation showed as they sprinted out to a big first quarter lead. The Wolves opened the scoring with a 23-yard field goal by Ryan Duffy. Following great defensive play by the Wolves. Jeremy Hill and Jonathan Green would add touchdowns to increase the Redemptorist lead to 17-0 with 1:20 remaining in the first quarter. Both teams would settle down in the second quarter, and the Redemptorist would take the same score into the break. In the second half, Kaplan would come out very determined not to go down without a fight. The Pirates would score on 3 consecutive drives, while keeping the Wolves from gaining any offensive momentum in the second half. From Amazingly, the Wolves would find themselves down 18-17 with only 5 minutes remaining in the contest. Being forced to funnel in 5 straight possessions, the Wolves would put together a 10-play, 69-yard drive. Off by a 21-yard run by quarterback Deuce Boone to take a 23-18 lead in the final minute. The Black D would hold as Kaplan made a late charge, securing the win and advancement into the second round for the Wolves. Coach Mastretta was encouraged by how his team played, determined in the last 5 minutes of the game. They showed they were not ready for their season to end. Round 2 would have the Wolfpack Nation traveling to LaPlace to face 9-1 and number 4 seed St. Charles Catholic. This would be a battle of 2 playoff-tested teams with 19 consecutive trips to the postseason between them. Cold conditions and led by outstanding defenses, the first half would play itself out just as most would have expected. The teams taking a 7-7 tie into the locker room ahead. take over the game. Dominating the St. Charles offense, holding the Comets to minus 12 yards rushing for the game. The Redemptorist defense forced 6 punts, registered 6 sacks, and 1 interception. Smash-mouth effort by the defense led to a 20-point second-half spurt that would seal a 27-14 victory for the Wolves. On the offensive side of the ball, Redemptorists would get their first big-time performance from senior running back Jonathan Green, who had been hampered most of the year from a knee injury. Green rushed for 154 yards on 24 carries for the Wolves. With the win, Redemptorist would find itself preparing to face district rival Parkview Baptist in the quarterfinals for the second year in a row. The Wolves and Eagles will play a second game with the season on the line. With Green healthy and the Redemptorist defense continuing its dominating play, confidence was high in the locker room as the team celebrated their second round win. Of the district championship game, Redemptorist and Parkview would meet for a chance to advance to the state semifinals. The game would be played at the Rock.
What do you call? You call it heads? It is a head.
And the Wolfpack Nation would be out in full force, ready to back the pack. The Wolves would need no extra motivation for this game. Only memories of being knocked out of the playoffs by Parkview a year earlier in an overtime semifinal contest. Emotions running high, the Wolves and Eagles will play a hard-hitting, penalty-filled game with Redemptorist coming out with a tough 7-0 victory. Both teams played very strong defensively, but Redemptorist would eventually win the battle of field position. Coming into the game averaging more than 300 yards rushing per contest, the Wolfpack defense held Parkview to less than 100 yards rushing in the game, as well as holding the Eagles to only 11 yards and 1 of 11 passing. After starting the game with a 67-yard drive that ended with a missed field goal, Panthers would finally score in the second quarter on a 4-yard run by Jonathan Green. Green finished the game with 68 yards rushing.
Go get Colo. Go jump.
Wolves would miss another opportunity when Deuce Coon's electrifying 50-yard touchdown scramble would be called back due to a penalty. The Black D, however, would be up to the challenge. Holding Parkview out of the end zone in the final minutes and sealing another semifinal appearance. As the Wolfpack Nation celebrated on the field after the victory, the news would come from Richwood that the #1 seed Notre Dame will be the semifinal opponent for the Wolfpack.
You know, I think we kind of exercised some demons tonight because this is a team that put us out, 2 yards from the dome.
Having finally avenged the semifinal loss from a year earlier, the Wolves went about preparing for yet another semifinal on the home field of a #1 ranked team, the undefeated top seed Notre Dame of Crowley. As the week progressed, it was evident the Wolves were emotionally drained from a long season, and the coaches went about getting the team refocused on the task at hand. In a packed Gardner Memorial Stadium in Crowley, the Wolves and Pios would play a game that would be remembered for many years. The hangover from the quarterfinal win was evident as the Pack could not get going on either side of the ball in the first half. Taking advantage of 2 turnovers by Redemptorist, Notre Dame would manage 2 first-half scores and take a 14-0 lead over the sluggish Wolves at the break. In the third quarter, Notre Dame would take a 17-0 lead on a 48-yard field goal by Hunter Stover. After getting a spark from the running of Deuce Kuhn, Redemptorist would finally get on the board as the third quarter came to a close. Kyle Hall beating a 43-yard field goal. This score seemed to be what the Black D needed, and it would show its strength, holding the Pios to -6 yards the rest of the way. Fourth quarter started, Redemptorist would make another strong offensive push. Get into the end zone on an 11-yard run by Jonathan Green to pull within 7. The defense would continue to give great effort in the fourth quarter. Give the offense one last chance by forcing a punt with just 2 minutes to play. After a booming 59-yard punt by Notre Dame, the Wolfpack would have to go 93 yards with 2 minutes and 9 seconds remaining on the clock. An inspired offense led by the poise and confidence of Deuce Kuhn would move the ball down the field with precision. Deuce would complete 4 passes for first down, including the last to Green, who would race to the Notre Dame 3-yard line with only seconds remaining. After a procedure penalty, as the clock was winding down, the Wolves were able to get off one last snap, pitch the ball to Green, but he was stopped at the 1 by the Notre Dame defense. For the second consecutive year, the Redemptorist Wolves would end their season just short of their goal. While the goal was not quite reached, the Wolfpack Nation was treated to yet another hard-fought and very successful season. As we say so long to the senior class, we congratulate them on an outstanding 3-year run and wish them luck in all future endeavors. While they will move on to bright futures, their mark on the program will stand forever. There is much excitement in the air as the 2009 version of the Wolfpack begins its preparations. With the experience earned from the 15 underclassmen starters and the lessons in leadership learned from 2008, the future is certainly bright at the Rock.